Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.
Good morning and welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning right. I am John Palacio.
And I'm Marlene Cuellar, and thank you for joining us this morning.
That's right. Thank you so very much for joining us this morning. It is a chilly morning here in the city. We were warned last week, Wednesday, by Catherine Cumberbatch saying that, and coming up on Monday, we should be getting or into Valentine, we should be getting a cold front and Mar. Ta-da!
I know.
Right here.
You know, I watched you guys on Friday. I said you must have been cold
Oh
with that
my
sea
goodness.
breeze there too.
Ooh, man, it was cold. And April, oh my goodness. And she was out there. Oh my goodness. I said, well, you know what? You gotta breathe it. You gotta breathe
the
it.
conversation seemed to warm you all up. All that talk about love.
Yeah, it was great. It was excellent. We had a great time. Loved the couple so very much.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, we gotta fix it up. We gotta fix it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love the conversation. We love having the chit chat with the couples. It was a great one. And that is one of the things that we continue to push here at 5. Great entertainment for you and of course for your entire family, and for you to learn from what we offer to you with respect to messages.
All right, but of course, in other news that's happening today is the official state memorial for the late former Prime Minister, Right Honorable Manuel Esquivel. Yesterday we saw the urn lying in state at the House of Culture. And of course, there was live coverage provided by all the major media houses. And today should be the official send-off.
Today should be the official send-off. It's going to be live right here on 5 as well. And, just to see, representatives of the members of the House of Representatives, and of course his entire family being out there to pay final respects to him. Listening to some of the vox pops, people saying, this is what happened back in the day, and this is how I remember him by. We know for a fact that he was a man of integrity, a man of love, a man for the people as well. There was one person who said there was no time that it was about one personal person or one person respectively. It was actually collectively how he served the people. And so I thought to myself, man, this is, while it is a send-off and while it is a sad time for our country, it is also historic for us as we are paying tribute to a man who had this country, of course, at heart with his people.
Yeah, of course. And so, I think there's all the ceremony that surrounds state funerals. And that's always very interesting to watch. But a lot of people tuned in. I think also expressing their condolences. And as you mentioned, there were the invited guests who were there to officially express their condolences and write in the book of condolences as well. Today we should see more in terms of his eulogy and prepared speeches being delivered as well. That coverage starts this afternoon. And of course, you'll be able to see it live on Channel 5 and on our Facebook pages as well.
Indeed, we'll be having that coverage for you. And that's, one of the things making news today, Mar.
I think one of the things that stood out yesterday from the interviews that Dwayne did while they were out there was the one with Senator Elena Smith, where she acknowledges, it really proves that any teacher could be a leader of this nation if they have the drive to push forward with it.
Indeed, and I felt that her message actually made great waves throughout the teaching population of this country, because it is indeed true that you are able to become a leader. You are able to become a pillar with respect to your touch for a country and for many people. Teachers, we know for a fact, are doing that.
Yeah.
But there are steps to be made, and this is a perfect example.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so of course that coverage continues this afternoon, and so people know there'll be the very same route that will be taken for the cortege. The urn will be carried by the Belize Defense Force to the House of Culture from the home. So if you are in the area, and let's hope the weather is a bit better, you can definitely come out and watch as it passes by. And once it arrives at the House of Culture, the official memorial service will be held. As was mentioned yesterday, and as we have been reporting, there won't be, an official mass or ceremony or religious send-off, but more so I believe his wife said in an interview with Marion, that he wanted to be sent off with a concert. So there's going to be a lot of music as well as Belize says farewell and thank you for the contributions.
Great, Mar. Wanted to be sent home with a concert simply means that you pay respect and tribute, one, to music, two, to culture of your country. And that's one of the things that we'll be seeing as well. Looking forward to that. Because it is, how do we say, celebrating the life of. Again, historic, and again, a man who has made significant strides within our country, for our country to be recognized the way it is. And so therefore, I must say, well deserved.
Absolutely.
Indeed. And this is just, like we mentioned, one of the stories making the news today. And again, we want for you to tune into us live later on this afternoon as we provide to you live coverage of the send-off of the Right Honorable Dr. Sir Manuel Esquivel. That's later on this afternoon. And also in the news, Marlene, is that of the travel insurance. That's one of the things that, of course, is making waves throughout the news from last night. We know that a lot of people bottlenecked. Actually, there was a bottleneck effect at the international airport yesterday for those who didn't purchase their travel insurance to enter the country, which is some $18 US, and they had to do that at the international airport. And so, what effect will it have on tourism in our country, Mar? That's one of the questions that's of course being asked as we speak. We know that some people are for, some people are against, but you must gauge what the tourists want. We know for a fact, and it was said, that it is in the event of anything should happen with respect to coronavirus. You go to a country, you get caught up in a hotel, and you get caught up for a week, 2 weeks, and then you have to take on the brunt of that bill. And so what they're saying is that with this $18, that bill should be taken care of for you because you've actually paid that insurance. What a thing.
Yeah. I think yesterday was the official rollout, and I think that one of the things that I reflect upon was the conversation we had with representatives of the Belize Tourism Industry Association and Belize Hotel Association. And this was, heading into the peak of the Omicron wave. And this was before the announcement of the travel insurance. And from that point, they were already talking about the concerns they were having when tourists test positive before leaving the country. So there are several elements at play. It's looking at covering the cost if you have to quarantine due to testing positive, and also if you require hospitalization. I know there have been some who have expressed concern about it raising the cost of travel to Belize. Everybody wants to be you have to be as affordable a destination as possible. And because of the competition that we face in this region, it's always something I know that we have to look at. But the concerns were there that people would essentially test positive upon exit, because they have to test before they travel. They would test positive either upon arrival, during the trip, or as they were leaving. And that then leaves you in a scenario where, let's say your room is already booked out to someone else, or the hotel is booked out. What happens then? Who pays that cost? You've already paid for the vacation you wish you were going to have or you wanted to have. And then you have an additional 5 days or more before you can test negative to travel again. So this was one of the measures that the ministry said they were implementing. Now, what ripple effect it will have for people? Are travelers thinking that long term? Are they seeing this as a potential threat for them once they travel? I would think so, because Omicron especially, that has been spreading so rapidly, and people have been having very mild symptoms or not noticing their symptoms that much. Everyone else is seeing it in their own country, wherever they're coming from, that it is simply spreading really fast.
It is. It is. As a matter of fact, we were warned about it, saying that it's 70% much more transmissive than the other variants that were out there. And so therefore, you must gauge, and like you rightly mentioned, Marlene, you've got to think the long term. You've got to think that, when I get there, then what? What if when I'm about to leave, then what?
And the hotel can't kick you out. You know the review that would come if they say, I'm sorry, we're booked out.
We're
Somebody's
booked out,
coming to fill that room.
Yeah, and you're positive for the coronavirus. So these are the things that you must be put into consideration before you make that travel.
Yeah.
And like you mentioned, yesterday was the kickstart of it. So we need to see what the rest of the week is going to be like, and of course, ongoing from there.
Yeah, well, I guess the good news, though, is that we are seeing a huge reduction in the number of cases being detected. And that's such a positive sign. I know we talk all the time about when the cases are up. It is important for us to say that we are seeing less than 500 cases consistently over the past week or so. And so it is a positive sign for us that perhaps that there aren't as many people with active cases identified. But as we had Dr. Hidalgo and Dr. Pott last week saying, don't let your guard down. We all get there. It's like, oh, it's calm now. I can move about a bit more. That's not the case.
That's not the case.
So please continue to be extremely careful as you move around. There are cases of reinfection of Omicron, so you can get it again within a short time after recovering from an infection. So keep that in mind and keep up with all the protocols.
As somebody who have caught the virus already, that's one of the things I surely don't want to have to face again.
Yeah.
And so therefore, I try my best.
The isolation was hard for you, huh?
It was hard indeed, because then see what happens is that, okay, at the start of the pandemic, you had to isolate for a while. Everybody, we didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And people were running, or you felt like, man, I'm getting mad because this is happening and I want to go out. I'm not able to go out. Then you catch the virus. Then you have to be isolating yourself again. Look, the simple thing about this, Marlene, is that even if you've caught the virus, or even if you haven't as yet, and I say as yet, even if you haven't as yet, exercise every caution possible. You get to the store, you see a long line, stay at the back, or you exercise your distance from each other. Wear your face mask. Wash your hands, please. It is very important that you do so. Sing the happy birthday song.
Yeah.
Use that 20 seconds that they told us about. You don't want to be reinfected. I've heard of people being reinfected and suffering with the same symptoms that they did prior to.
Here in Belize,
yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and it's not a good feeling. Fever, headache, you feel broken up, chills, you feel hot, then you feel cold, then you're wearing your quilt, but you're still sweating, but you still feel cold. You don't know what to do. Yeah. There is this headache. You don't want to eat, then you want to eat, then you have to go to the bathroom. So these are the things that you really, really want to protect yourselves from, because it is out there. And there isn't a sign on somebody's head to say, you know what, I've got the virus, don't come near me. No. This thing is floating around in the air.
Yeah, and you really, so few people actually are able to trace exactly where they get it from, unless you've been identified as a close contact. But it's very difficult. I know everyone's. I've had quite a few conversations with people where they say, "Oh, I don't know where I got it." It's really difficult to identify.
I didn't know. We had no clue where we got it from. We had no clue where we got it from. So, and your friends have got friends who've got friends, and they've got friends who've got friends. And so therefore you might say, oh, it's Marlene man, she's all right. Yes, that's my friend. Yeah. And I'm sure that she's following all these protocols and whatnot. But Marlene has friends. Yeah. Or it's John, that's my friend, he's gonna be okay. But I've got friends as well. So you never know. Just pay attention to it.
And that was going to be, I think that's a great point. I think that the part that really makes the difference in containing the spread, because we are going to continue to see infections, everyone has said, It's that we keep on being each other's keeper.
Yeah.
That at the point where you don't feel well or you become just even remotely suspicious that it might be COVID-19, that you are responsible enough to stay home and responsible enough to stay away from people who you could potentially infect. You did that with us. I remember you called, you're like, I don't know.
Yeah, I messaged her in my...
and we made the decision, right? And we've had that. I think that that's really just the responsible part that helps to allow for cases to be less or to contain the spread, I should say.
Indeed, but again, you alluded to something very important, that what I did was that I made that contact to let you know that, hey, there is a possibility. There are a lot of people right now who are not doing that as well, simply because they might not want to be stigmatized, because there's some stigma after getting the coronavirus. But there are some folks who would say, you know what, I don't want for folks to know, look, take care of me as I'm taking care of you. If you feel that you're not feeling well, message or say something. Go on out there and get tested. And there are testing sites everywhere, Marlene. Every nook and cranny of this country, there's a testing site. So make sure that you use the services, as the Ministry of Health and Wellness is trying their utmost best to try and get this thing under control. But it is not up to them. It is up to us to get this thing under control. Very important message. All right, very important. And those are just some of the things coming out of last night's newscast. Of course, catch us every evening, Monday to Friday, right here live on 5 at 6 p.m.
That's right. All right, let's get moving into some motivation to get our day started. And that means it's time for our eye opener. And our eye opener, taken from dailyom.com, goes like this. When leaving home, it's important to honor the time you have spent within its walls and the life you live there. When we move from one residence to another, we often get so caught up in the forward thrust of where we're going that we forget to properly say goodbye to the home we're leaving behind. Yet, saying goodbye is an important part of moving forward. It gives us a sense of completion so that we can fully inhabit our new space, having left nothing of ourselves in the old one. In this way, we honor the space that has held and nurtured us. At the same time, we cleanse it and empty it of our energy so that the new residents can make the space theirs. Plan a walk through your home that begins and ends at the front door. As you make your way back to the front door, know that you have completed your final journey through your home and that you've honored and blessed it with this ritual of farewell. As you close and lock the door behind you, say one last goodbye. Now you can walk freely into your future and fully inhabit the new spaces that will keep you safe and warm.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, Marlene. I'll tell you why. Look, there's so many things that happen, you know. I do understand the message, yes. I do understand the message of at least saying farewell or goodbye and leaving that space behind. But I don't know, because what if something had happened? What if, you know, because you might want to leave that space because of something had happened. And I say this because it is the reality. It's realistic that these things happen. Or maybe I could say it might not have been the house. Maybe it's just a space that you liked at your office. That's another good one. You're moving on, you're going to something else. Nothing is wrong with circling that office and saying, you know what, goodbye. It brings back those memories. And a lot of people could tell you, man, I might not miss the work, but I'm going to miss the camaraderie. And leaving that space behind and saying goodbye to it could just filter in that great memory. And you'll always have it in your mind and live with it. So, no, I feel cozy with it.
Okay. I know, because you were starting with, I don't know, but now you seem to get it. But
you know, I had to, because then I thought about the reality, Marlene. I read this thing over this morning like 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 times, and I said, but what if, you know, so that's why I didn't know.
Even if it does have bad memories, I mean, every place has bad memories. Yeah. You know, it's not all sunshine all the time.
Every time, yeah.
But I find that I do this. I cherish my own private space in general, you know, and I find that anytime I'm going to change my space, then I do take that moment. There's nothing, when you face an empty home that you've filled for such a long time because you're leaving on that last day or as you get ready to leave, and you look around and you recognize and acknowledge what that space has offered you through the good and the bad.
Through the good and the bad.
And it's true. It's the same with office spaces too. When you pack up everything and you leave an office space, it's a strange feeling because that was kind of where you had where you were comfortable doing
During
the
that
work
time.
that you used to do before.
Yeah. You're totally right. You're totally right. But it's like it said, when you're leaving that home, it is important to honor the time that you have spent within the wilds and the life you live there. And so therefore, you take this into consideration. It makes for great conversation throughout your day to day, or when you get to the office, or if you're at home.
All right. With that, though, we got to get moving into our weather update. I think the most important thing is how much rain are we going to be seeing today? Yesterday was pretty wet.
Yesterday, the entire day yesterday was pretty wet. But we've got the forecast for on the line. Francisca, is that you? Good morning.
That's me, my favorite tag team.
How are you?
I am doing great, and you guys?
We're doing great, great-alicious, great-terrific. The weather is beautiful, Francisca.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So you know what? It might not be beautiful. It might not look beautiful, but it feels good. So let's jump on. Let's jump on into it. Tell us the general situation, or should I just ask the question? How long will I have this cold front for?
Okay, so we'll be seeing changes as early as this afternoon.
Oh, okay. So let's get into it. The general situation. What should we expect?
I'm saying relatively moist conditions prevail, but improvement is on the way.
All right.
Okay?
And the 24-hour forecast?
Okay, we'll be seeing cloudy spells today and tonight. We will still be seeing a few light showers or periods of light rain, mainly over central and northern areas this morning and decreasing later today. If we look at the radar, it's already clear. Right? We still have a little bit out at sea. Currently, we have a land wind, but as soon as that goes around, we'll be seeing a little bit, I will say, the stragglers coming in. By this afternoon, should clear up. I believe some areas already getting some sunshine.
Oh, wow. I'm glad to hear that. So let's talk about the winds. Where should we feel those, and what is it going to be gusting at?
Okay, so winds will veer to the east-southeast, 5 to 15 knots, and it will produce moderate seas. So we'll be seeing 4 to 6 feet waves beyond the reef.
Oh, wow. And the temperatures for today?
Okay, 84 along the coast, 86 inland, 72 up in the Maya Mountains. And overnight, we're seeing temperatures shooting up to 76 Fahrenheit along the coast, 70 inland, and 62 up in the Maya Mountains.
Lovely. And the extended forecast, what should we expect for the next few days?
Okay, so that will be for Thursday and Thursday night. We'll be seeing generally fair weather with only isolated showers around the country.
All right. That sounds good to me. Francisca, thank you so very much.
One more thing. We have started our fire forecast. And because we still have a little bit of moisture around, the fire risk around the country is very low.
Okay.
And will be so for the next 24 hours.
All right. That's some great news, Francisca. Thank you so very much.
You're welcome.
All right. Have a great day.
Bye.
Okay, guys.
Bye.
All right. So now we know exactly what to expect. We should be getting some clearer weather coming on into the afternoon, evening time, which, of course, is some good news.
Yeah, it's great news for the funeral this afternoon too.
Oh, yeah,
So as I was
indeed.
saying, if the weather's good and so forth, that's what the prediction is. You can go out and you can take in the sights and sounds of the cortege moving through the streets.
Indeed. And
Yeah.
like we mentioned, we'll be having that live for you on 5.
Yeah.
But we need to move on into our show for today. As per usual, we provide to you with the best in conversations. We've got 3 of them lined up for you this morning, as we'll be starting off this morning with our regional expertise from the CDC and the Ministry of Health and Wellness, as they'll be discussing the extended expiration dates for COVID-19 vaccines. That's a conversation you want to stay tuned for. That's the first one.
All right. And the second part of our show, we're going to be learning more about Natura Lean Belize. And this is an entrepreneur who has personalized meal plans that are supposed to help you lose weight.
I can't, and just by food, low food, and the food you like. That's what they're saying. So we'll be looking forward to that. And we'll be ending this morning's conversation with Ahmadiyya Belize as they discuss the inauguration of their new mosque, their annual convention, and they'll be sharing to us about the country's biggest ongoing basketball league. And we've seen some Belizean making strides in different countries, and they came out of the Ahmadiyya League. So that's going to be our third conversation for this morning. We've got to take the break though. Just before we do, we've got our birthday shout out. And we want to say a big, big, big happy birthday to none other than Cristel Lopez. Happy birthday to you, Cristel. Wishing you a very good day today. Coming from your entire family. Of course, from all of us here at Channel 5 and from us right here on Open Your Eyes. Do enjoy your special day. We're going to take the break. When we come back, we'll be diving directly into our first conversation. Stay with us. We will be right back.
We have been a partner with Smart for over 10 plus years. We have a full Smart plan we use as our major driver for our business. We have a service that rolls over in that if you call one and it is busy, it rolls over to the next line. So once you call us, you can get us at any time. Before we got this Smart service, we were paying upwards of nearly $2,000 in phone bills. Since we've had our Smart service, we pay an average of about $600. So we've had tremendous saving, more than 50%. For the businesses, if you want to save money, switch to Smart because it is far more cost effective and the service is excellent.
Smart continues to be innovative in bringing new technology and meaningful savings during these challenging times to businesses across Belize. Sign up for our VoIP technology or broadband packages and save more.
Your life just got a lot less complicated with Belize Bank Contactless MasterCard Debit Card. Introducing our Standard Debit and MasterCard Platinum Debit Cards. Now you can make purchases anywhere MasterCard is accepted with one tap, pay and go. Your contactless card never has to leave your hands, especially in these times. And your card is embedded with multiple layers of security. Platinum card holders get to enjoy extra benefits like price protection, purchase protection, trip inconvenience, and luggage protection, just to name a few. Start enjoying a cashless lifestyle today with the Belize Bank.
The Social Security Board, in collaboration with the Labor Department, takes this opportunity to remind insured persons of the requirements for compensation when on sick leave. Any employee who has worked with an employer for at least 2 months is entitled to 16 working days of sick leave with full pay every year. This is how it works. Upon approval of a sickness or injury benefit claim by SSD, 80% of the employee's weekly insurable earnings is paid as a Social Security benefit, and the difference in the employee's salary is paid by the employer. This is to ensure that the employee does not suffer any loss of wages when ill. After 16 days, compensation for sick leave is paid as a Social Security benefit only. Some conditions apply. This message is brought to you by the Social Security Board and the Labor Department. Social Security Board, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
If you're looking for low-cost television advertising, have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you save valuable time and money. Call us today at 223-0146 or visit us at our offices on Pony Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
Whether you're at home, on the road, at work, or at school, if you see news happening or suspect that something might be up, Call or text the Channel 5 News Belize tip line at 672-5555. You don't have to give us your name, just give us the tip. That's 672-5555. Call or text us so we can check it out.
And we'll be back in a few, so stay tuned. Thanks, Jen. Hey there, we know you have to head out to work shortly, but don't forget that you can stay tuned by watching us on our Facebook live stream. Find us at Open Your Eyes BC, and you can continue watching there. You can also download Facebook Watch on your streaming device, and you can watch at your own convenience.
And for all the behind-the-scenes fun, follow us on Instagram at OYE Belize. So,
find us
and follow us
today.
Today's COVID update is brought to you by Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price, but stay for the service.
And welcome back. Welcome back. We're moving now into our first segment for the morning. And of course, this is our COVID-19 update, our courtesy Fulltech Systems. Thank you so very much. The conversation is going to be about the regional expertise from the CDC and, of course, from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. And they'll be discussing extended expiration dates for COVID-19 vaccines. Now, in to tell us all about it, we've got on Zoom Dr. Emily Zielinski Gutierrez, who's the Director, Central America Regional Office for the CDC. And also via Zoom is Dr. Natalia Larga Espada Bear, Technical Advisor, Maternal and Child Health at the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Good morning and welcome to both of you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much.
I'll tell you what, it's nice to see both of you, and it is a lovely morning indeed. But let's get on into this. Funny reading what it is like, or what the conversation should be about. And I'd like to start with Dr. Gutierrez, with respect to the expiration date of COVID-19 vaccines. Is definitely one to stomach. And I'm saying this because there are people who are very skeptical or still skeptical about getting the COVID-19 vaccine, but pushing back expiration dates. Now that's one to reckon with. Let's start there, Dr. Gutierrez. Good morning once again.
Good morning, and thanks so much for having me. I'm so sorry not to be in person there with you all in Belize. Thanks for asking about that. These vaccines, these Pfizer vaccines, are produced under what we call an emergency use authorization, and that's given out by the U.S. FDA, Food and Drug Administration, which is the regulatory body. Mm-hmm. So when a new vaccine comes on, they actually don't give it a specific expiry date. They put a pretty short date on it, and then as we accumulate more experience using that vaccine, so now we've had it for over a year, we know that in fact it is very shelf stable, and this is what is able to give us the data required by not just the FDA, actually also the European Union Medical Advisory Board was able to give it 3 months over the date that's printed on the label. So this was for millions of vaccines, including the ones that were used in the United States. So those that are in Belize now that say that the original date was at the end of February, those have been extended 3 months, so they are safe and effective through the end. So familiar with, in fact, it's a very common practice with new drugs. And this is not like a decision just by Pfizer. This was by the FDA. So the new official date is the end of May.
Yeah. Now, thank you so much for both of you to join us, because we understand that when we talk about vaccine development and encouraging people to get vaccinated or boosted, that there still is a level of hesitation. And when we face a situation like this, where the situation of the expiration date being shifted, I imagine that you anticipate that there will be skepticism regarding safety. So let's just backtrack for a moment and talk about expiration dates itself for vaccinations. You said that the emergency use is what prompted for the short shelf life, but studies have shown that in fact it is effective for much longer. How are these studies done and how are they verified?
Yeah, so there are both studies that look at safety and studies that look at the effectiveness or efficacy of the vaccine.
Yeah.
So with the initial emergency use authorization, they were able to see that a very excellent profile, as well as that the vaccines were very effective in preventing people from going to hospital or and effective in preventing death. In fact, those who are vaccinated are 14 times less likely to die than people who aren't vaccinated.
And
so if they're in the freezer, do they read their effectiveness?
Yeah.
And that's really what this extended study was looking at. Yeah, Dr. Beer?
yes, just to share that the COVID-19 vaccine, in this regard, the Pfizer, the expiration date or the time that we can use the vaccines is dynamic also, because when we receive our national stock, that goes into the ultra low temperature freezers, and they can be there up to 6 months. But once we start deploying the vaccines to the districts, that time for the use of the vaccine is shortened just 1 month. So we have to follow the manufacturing companies' guidelines to ensure the potency of the vaccines.
Yeah.
And in this case, as Dr. Gutierrez was saying, the vaccines are relatively new, just like how we were studying, and I mean the scientists, the duration of the protection when one become infected with COVID-19. At the beginning, it was 3 months. Then they raised it up to 6 months based on evidence, and then up to 8 months, the protection. No? But again, COVID-19 is not in a vacuum. The host, the conditions of the host play a key role. A person that have chronic illness, like diabetes, hypertension, and they are not under control, you can find them to have, and they're not vaccinated, they can even get reinfected more often than what is described in the literature. Because you have to remember all those factors that are in play, not only the disease, the virus, and the person. It's everything, the baggage that the person brings play a key role as.
So Dr. Beer, why don't you set the backdrop for us a bit? How many doses of Pfizer vaccine do we have that will apply under this new extension for the expiration date? And who is it being used for?
Well, the amount of vaccines that we have currently is 103,446 doses. And this is open to any person that is 12 years and older that wants to receive the vaccine. So we encourage persons, to just show up to your nearest vaccination site. The vaccines are there available. We have currently in country Johnson and Pfizer. Those are the only two vaccines we have right now.
And people have a choice as to which vaccine they want to receive?
Of course.
Yeah, yeah.
Except
for children.
Except for children, yeah. We haven't gotten that yet.
Yeah.
Go
ahead.
Dr. Gutierrez, let's talk about the efficacy of vaccines after a specific date that it was said for. In this case, the Pfizer. Yes, we do have, like Dr. Beer said a while ago, we do have that in the country, and we know that it's also used for children. So let's talk about the efficacy. What is the efficacy of vaccines at this particular stage, being that it has been extended to end May?
Yeah, no, thanks. There's just one thing that you mentioned really quickly I want to clarify. So the vaccines, the Pfizer that we have in Belize at this point is good for kids 12 and up. It's not the type of vaccine for those who are under 12. So the 5 to 11 or the under 5s, we don't have the vaccine for those kids yet, just to be super clear.
Okay.
So the reason for the extension is that it'll have the same efficacy, which is over 98% effective in keeping people from developing severe disease or death. It has the same efficacy on March 1st, March 5th, April 1st, May 1st, May 31st, as it would have on February 28th. So it's not that it's kind of declining in effectiveness. It's really that it that extension to the expiry date means that it retains its full potency. It's as safe and as good until that May 31st. After May 31st, we would say that's not a vaccine that should be used any longer.
All right.
Now, there have been situations in other parts of the world with other types of vaccinations where they reach their expiration date and they have to be destroyed. I think that has kind of led people to become more attentive about the expiration dates for vaccines. And your explanation of its effectiveness post February 28th explains that it will carry the same level of protection. Now, for those who will have concerns, I'm sure you are aware, they will come back and say, well, should I just wait on another batch that doesn't have an initial expiration date of February 28th? What do you say to people who have those thoughts?
I would like to respond to that, Marlene.
Yes, please.
Just to remind the public that with COVID is not an issue of let's wait because we don't know what lie ahead. We had the first wave in Belize with the original virus. Then we had the wave with Delta that caused a lot of deaths and hospitalizations. The health system was maxed out. And then we had the Omicron that had a high transmissibility. But we see that the number of hospitalizations and ICU and deaths were less compared to Delta. So we don't know what is coming next. So it's not a matter of sitting and waiting. Vaccines are effective.
Yeah.
The same resistance we're having now, we had it, if you look at the history, with smallpox. Worldwide, smallpox is eradicated. We are at I think it's only 2 countries worldwide that have active cases of polio. So vaccines are proven to be low cost, effective intervention. In the case of COVID, because of the way how the virus is transmitted, then it has to be in tandem with the public health measures. It's not only vaccines and we are safe, no. Vaccines, wearing your face mask, sanitizing, avoiding crowds, physical distancing at all time. Those are that's the package against COVID.
Yeah.
When we fail to comply with that, and that's why sometimes we're seeing persons vaccinated and getting infected because we tend to drop our guard because, oh, I'm vaccinated. No, it's the entire package of public health measures plus the vaccine is what will help us to keep safer.
Yeah. That's such an important point that you're making there, Dr. Baer, because I think the messaging is important that COVID-19 vaccines, while the hope was to prevent the transmission, what it now is helping to reduce is the severity of the illness that one can get. And that includes the booster shots, which I know a lot of adults use the Pfizer as their booster shots. Can either of you talk of the data that we now know, especially with breakthrough infections that we've seen with Omicron, on how effective fully vaccinated and boosted persons, the vaccination has been in minimizing severity of illness?
Well, the data is, we publish the data on a daily basis, and then we have the cumulative data that is shared also with the public. And we have a quite, I won't say large, but a number of persons that are vaccinated that are infected, but they are protected against severe illness and even death.
Mm-hmm.
From the get-go, all COVID-19 vaccines, it was said from the beginning, there is not 100% protection against infection,
okay,
but there is high and in some cases up to 100% protection against having severe illness, having the need to be hospitalized, having the need to go to an intensive care unit, and even causing death. That's the added value that all the COVID-19 vaccines bring to the table, some with a higher rate than others. No, but as the World Health Organization set out as a target, 50% or more is considered acceptable for providing the vaccines to the population.
Dr. Berry, I'm glad you pointed that out. That's very, very good information there, so folks could understand that it's not 100%. It doesn't 100% cover that you don't get the virus, but it's up to 100% that you might not get ill, or severely ill. Which leads me to ask the question: what is the rate at this particular point with respect to vaccinations? Are people still coming out, or are we seeing less people coming out? Do we still see people who are skeptical about it and need some more information? What are we seeing from the Ministry of Health and Wellness?
Well, we would like to commend the population that have been vaccinated so far. We're at 47.7% with complete vaccination, and meaning those who receive second dose or the one dose, that is the Johnson. And we would also like to commend the healthcare workers that are working tirelessly around the clock, providing this service, and this is from public and private sector, and all the persons who are volunteering for a successful vaccination campaign in Belize. So where are we currently? We are, if we look at the population that is eligible to receive the vaccines that we have in country currently, is persons 12 years and older. Out of every 3 Belizean 12 years and older, 2 are vaccinated.
Wow.
With complete vaccination.
Yeah.
But we need the next third, because this cannot be done. We will not achieve the goal of protecting the population, and especially the most vulnerable, like children. I mean,
I'm not sure. Dr. Bear, you still there? Okay, it seems that we may have lost her, but this gives us an opportunity, Dr. Gutierrez, to tap into some of your expertise in looking at vaccine hesitancy, especially. Dr. Bear pointed out that Belize has done a great job in being able to get about 50% of the population fully vaccinated at this point. And the hope is that we'll get more persons who are eligible for the vaccine fully vaccinated and subsequently boosted. But this issue of hesitancy is not unique to us. From your experience, let's talk about some of the things that continue to feed the hesitation that exists, and some of the successful strategies that have been able to convince people to get vaccinated.
Thanks a lot for the question, Marlene. I think you have kind of people get information from a lot of sources, and we hear things from our cousin, we hear things on social media, and a lot of it is once people are able to really realize what it is that's making them a little anxious, search reliable sources like the Ministry of Health and Wellness or CDC or PAHO, And then really find out like, okay, well, what is in these vaccines? What is the shot like? What are the side effects? And in general, finding out that the side effects, usually it's a bit of soreness in your arm, maybe a little bit of redness. Some people get a headache and some tiredness. Usually that lasts about a day. So it's kind of.
Yeah. Let's see if we'll be able to get her back. Is she still there? All right, now we've lost Dr. Gutierrez.
Lost Dr.
At least
Gutierrez.
momentarily. There she is.
All right,
okay.
there we go.
Some challenges today.
This is the world of Zoom. We all get used to it. We just take that little pause. But continue.
No, thanks so much. I was pretty much just saying, as soon as we can start separating out the myths from the true stories, it really helps. I know one really common thing that you hear from people who are hesitant is like, I'm just gonna get the virus, and I'm just gonna do it that way. I'm just gonna get a natural infection. Yeah. The really challenging part there is you don't know if it's really a gamble. You don't know if you're going to be one of those people who ends up. Even though you're young and healthy, you could end up in the hospital or worse. And then there's long COVID. I don't know if you can still hear me.
Yes, we can still hear you. Go ahead.
Oh, excellent. Good. I was afraid I was frozen with the terrible face.
No.
We hear a lot more about long COVID, and we're learning a lot more about this. So even though there's people who, have a pretty mild infection initially, they end up getting, kind of experiencing tiredness and fatigue and just kind of feeling fuzzy for a long time. And that's, I wouldn't want to wish that on anybody. So, So getting the vaccine can really head off having those risks of hospitalization, death, long COVID, etc.
Okay. Yeah.
But they're still.
And just adding on to that though, the natural immunity was one of the things that some people had decided they wanted to be able to develop. In other words, they wanted to take a chance and see how they would fare off against COVID and feel that they would build a natural immunity. But what we see now, and especially with Omicron, is that having a previous infection is not enough to protect you from future infections.
Yeah. And I would like to remind ourselves that there is a difference between getting vaccinated and getting the natural immunity. There is greater risk with the natural immunity because the SARS-CoV-2, the virus that caused the COVID-19, at the beginning of the pandemic worldwide, we thought it was just one more respiratory infection that we were dealing with. But throughout the through time where we are currently, it has been identified in the intestine, in the kidney, in the heart, eyes, in the brain, in the testes, in the prostate. So that comes with COVID. With the vaccine, all you are getting is a minuscule particle of the vaccine, enough to trigger the antibodies against the disease, the virus. So that's a huge difference between natural immunity and the development of the antibodies. So when you come in contact with the virus, you are not fighting alone. You already have an army of antibodies to help you to fight it off. And so that is important to remind.
It gives your body a much more predictable way to fight against the virus. And gives you a lot more tools. And at this point, there's so much that's unpredictable. We need help. And the vaccine's a really good way to do that.
But the skeptics are still saying that okay, I caught the virus, I got over it, I might have some antibodies now, but I'm still skeptical to go on out to get the vaccine. Why would you advise for somebody, even though after they've gotten it and skeptical about the vaccine, what would you advise for them to go out to get the vaccine, even though they feel that way?
So your natural antibodies from an infection only last so long. So we know that those tend to wane after a number of months, and it's going to vary for each person, but probably even after 3-4 months, what you have in your system from that from that natural infection that you got is going to start going down and won't be able to protect you longer term. Okay. So getting that boost from the antibodies from the vaccine so that they can work together to protect you really is the most effective way.
So let's talk about boosters. We are still rolling out and encouraging people who are fully vaccinated to get boosted. But in other parts of the world, they're already moving on to the fourth shot. How do you explain? Is it that fully vaccinated should now mean having 3 vaccinations?
3 vaccinations is really what's recommended, at least for people over 12. Okay. Absolutely, some parts of the world are looking at other schemes. Right now, the focus is on, of course, if you don't have those first 2 shots, absolutely get those. If you've had the first 2 shots, get that booster so that you and the people around you will be more protected. And especially if you're over age 50 or 60, if you have any underlying health condition, as Dr. Beers mentioned earlier, that makes it even more important that you get that booster, because we know that your chance of severe disease is even higher. But really, if you're young and healthy, you getting the shot protects you from developing the infection and then maybe giving it to your grandma or somebody else in your family who might have been vaccinated, but they could get a breakthrough infection. So it's just keeping less virus and keeping the virus further outside your home and outside your community.
And there is a race against the time that we've been facing this battle. We know that as the cases keep spreading, there's potential for more mutations. Omicron was really an example of how vastly this virus can mutate. And I use that as an example to say that vaccine development is in fact still ongoing. Scientists are still working to be able to develop vaccines that will be able to stand up against future mutations as well. Do you have any update on that, Dr. Gutierrez?
Yeah, as the virus evolves, we have to evolve our response as well. And so all of the vaccine companies and government scientists, like at the National Institutes of Health and supported by scientists from CDC, are all looking at, okay, what do we know about these mutations? Which spots on the virus are mutating, so that our tests work to detect them, and so that we know what options we have for vaccine. This mRNA vaccine, like Pfizer, is actually really exciting because it gives you more options to adapt really much more quickly than traditional vaccine technology. So we do know that we have really good tools to be able to, okay, something changed on the spike protein. We can adapt this vaccine. It really gives us an ability to respond in time with the virus. But that point you made, Marlene, is really, really important, that the more we have opportunities for the virus to get into human bodies and to replicate, and viruses evolve, viruses mutate, that's just what they do. Yeah. And so if we're giving them hosts by being unvaccinated, essentially, it's all that more opportunity for the virus to mutate into forms that could be more dangerous. We don't know which direction. Is it going to get milder or is it going to get stronger? Yeah. We hope we know, but the virus is always, nature's really forceful. Yeah. And we need to use our tools against it.
Is this a critical time for people to get vaccinated when we put into perspective that in some parts of the world they're moving away from restrictions?
Yeah, moving away from restrictions and vaccination absolutely go hand in hand. Yeah. Right. So our ability to kind of shift to something where we can live with this virus, we can still spend time with our family, spend time with our friends, is really balanced on being able to have that level of immunity throughout that population. And so now is the time, as we want to get back to doing fun things out in the community, being at work, having our economies function. We need that tool of vaccination to make that happen. I see Dr. Beer was going to add in as well.
Mm-hmm. No, it's fine, Dr. Gutierrez.
No, go ahead, Doctora. We were saying?
I was just wanting to remind that, or I'll make much of the opportunity here to thank the government of the United States for the donation of Pfizer vaccines to Belize. It is really a privilege, considering that there are many countries that have no access to vaccine as yet.
Yeah.
So it's a precious good that we have in country to help fight COVID-19, but it depends on the persons to access the vaccine. So I would highly encourage persons that are unvaccinated and don't take the risk of waiting for another moment. If you have the vaccine now, make much of it so that you are ready. We don't know in how many time more we will have a next wave of COVID-19. We don't know if it's coming more severe. We don't know if it's coming with higher transmissibility than Omicron.
Or what age it will affect.
Or what age it will affect, exactly. So I wanted to highlight that at this moment.
Yeah, I think people were really worried when they started to see children being hospitalized for Omicron. Thankfully, the hospitalization wasn't for severe forms, but they did require hospital care. And we seem to not know what next mutation may come and what effects it will bring. But as we started the conversation with the discussion on recognizing the safety of using the Pfizer vaccines that's in the country, let's go back to that to kind of reinforce the message. People will have questions or concerns. There are always questions regarding side effects or even who's eligible or who is whether the vaccine is safe enough for people with pre-existing conditions. Dr. Bear, let's provide that information.
Yes, thanks for that question, Marlene. The only contraindication for COVID-19 vaccines and especially for the Pfizer is the history of severe allergic reactions. And what this means, it means that persons that have history of allergy requiring hospitalization. Other than that, there is no absolute contraindication to receive the vaccine. I know people are worried because if I have diabetes, should I get vaccinated? If I am epileptic, should I get vaccinated? If my child, if I have asthma, suffer from asthma, should I get vaccinated? And the answer is yes. We highly recommend persons who have history of allergies to try and get an appointment to get the vaccine at the hospital. And why? Because you know that you have the tendency to have an allergic reaction. So just for precaution. But it's not contraindicated if the person was not hospitalized previously for that.
And just lastly, on the point of side effects, because that's always a major concern, what documented side effects have we had with vaccination rollout?
We highly encourage every person that gets vaccinated to report any type of side effects or symptoms that they may have after receiving the vaccine. And we have got reports. We have almost 3% of persons, meaning 3 out of 100 persons vaccinated, report some kind of symptom after receiving the vaccine. The majority are mild.
Yes.
The majority are mild. For those severe, we make sure that they get the proper medical care. And if we need to assist, we assist them with the assessment. So Some may say that is underreporting. Well, let's double the figure. So if we consider that it is underreporting, if we increase it by 100%, it's still in a margin of 6%, 6 out of every 100 that may have symptoms. And the symptoms from COVID-19 disease is not the same as the symptoms that you may experience after receiving the vaccine. The duration is much less with the vaccine than with the disease. And the long-term consequences of COVID-19, which we're not certain at this point, or we haven't finished that part of the research, it's ongoing. But there are long-term consequences from the disease itself that are more serious. No?
Absolutely.
Well, and finally for me, we've seen that, especially in the U.S., there are kids as young as 5 years old receiving vaccines. Dr. Beer, is there any time soon that we'll be seeing such thing here at home in Belize?
The CARICOM has been leading the discussions with Pfizer for Caribbean communities to access the COVID-19 vaccine pediatric formulation to be used in children 5 to 11. And at this point, we are waiting on the final details for Belize to enter into an agreement with Pfizer to access the pediatric formulation. I think there is a bit a delay in the process for the pediatric vaccines to be available, but I think it's just maybe a matter of 1 or 2 months, which is good for us, because then if we are going to start the negotiation with Pfizer, it take a time, to come to an agreement, provide all the documentation and the signatures that are needed to make that a reality. But it's a priority for the government of Belize to get the pediatric doses for our children.
All right. Well, we want to thank you both for joining us this morning. Dr. Emily Zielinski Gutierrez, thank you so very much for joining us. From, I'm not sure what country, from Guatemala. Thank you. And of course, and of course, Dr. Natalia Larga Espada-Beer, thank you so very much, both of you, for joining us this morning. All right. We're about to take a break. When we come back, it's going to be a conversation all about Naturaline. I can't wait for this conversation. Naturaline Belize, a program to lose weight or improve health using personalized meal plans. We'll talk about that when we come back. Stay with us.
This COVID update was brought to you by Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price, but stay for the service. Working off-site doesn't mean you have to be off your game. Studies have shown that simply adding a keyboard and mouse to your laptop increases productivity by 26%. Add a monitor and you'll be 35% more productive. At Fulltech Systems, we have what you need to enhance your remote work or e-learning experience. With devices such as headsets, video conferencing monitors, webcams, keyboards, mice, docking stations, all with the brands you trust. Keep connected with collaboration tools like Microsoft 365 Suite and Kaspersky and perform efficiently no matter where you are. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price, but stay for the service.
Who offers the best mobile experience in Belize? You don't know? Well, the truth is, Digi, our national telecom, of course. Digi has the largest mobile LTE advanced network with over 96% countrywide coverage, offering the fastest mobile LTE data speeds at the most affordable rates with mobile plans that fit your lifestyle. The truth is, only Digi gives the ultimate mobile LTE experience. Visit your nearest Digi store to join the bigger, better network today. Digi, our national telecom. Visit us online at www.livedigi.com.
Connecting people. Creating memories.
Hey guys, so here we are at the Glaze Out Kitchen. I just prepared this amazing broccoli.
Sharing a smile. Next Gen, the ultimate digital experience.
I chose Galen because of its strong reputation.
Great scholarships.
I came because I can take all my classes online.
It is what I need to take me where I want to go.
To learn more about our various programs, visit our website at www.galen.edu.bz or email us at admissions@galen.edu.bz.
And come soar with the Galen Eagles. If you're looking for low-cost television advertising, have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you save valuable time and money. Call us today at 223-0146 or visit us at our offices on Pony Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
Whether you're at home, on the road, at work, or at school, if you see news happening or suspect that something might be up,
Welcome back to Open Your Eyes, and we're moving now into our second segment for the morning. This one is all about Naturalene.
Yeah.
Naturalene Belize. What is that? It is a program to lose weight or improve your health using personalized meal plan. And the boss lady herself, the owner of Naturalene Belize, is on Zoom with us. She's none other than Carla Mendoza Landero. Good morning, Carla.
Good morning, Marlene and Janet. It's such a joy to be with you guys this morning, even though I couldn't be there personally.
Oh man! So I tell you what, just the hair made up for it. It's looking lovely.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So Carla,
let me dive into this though, because I got to tell you what excites me the most. You're talking about weight loss, but you're talking about food.
Well, food you like.
Know, everybody thinks you eat less, you'll have to eat less to lose weight, but you're talking about a personalized meal plan to help you cut down on calories. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. It is all about food. You know, that's my favorite part. I am a food lover. I've always been a food lover.
Okay. Okay.
Teacher, food and nutrition. So the program had to be about food if it was going to be related or in the same place with me.
Okay.
So I developed a program where, with my own journey, I became overweight after my second child was born. So I went about to develop a program that would work for me. And so that was the birth of the Naturalene program, which now is helping thousands of people in Belize and across the world to lose weight using all 3 meals, full food, and using what is available to them where they live or where they are.
You know, that's the part that got to me, Carla, because it says the food that you like, the things that you like, and you're still able to lose that weight. Now, you know, so you're telling us that you could just eat what you like, not however you like. I've got to be careful here, but without working out, or should we still work out? Should we still be active? Let's get to that part of it.
All right, perfect. Everybody, I'm telling you, the first question people ask me is, do I have to work out? And I am very careful how I answer this question. Workout is good for you. Energy levels for your own well-being. So, but for Natural Lean, for my program, we eat smart and we eat clean and we eat in the right combinations to help your body burn fat naturally. And that's where the word Natural Lean comes from.
Okay.
So I don't want to say you don't have to work out, but however, if you follow my food plans and you follow the guidelines that I give you, you will not be focusing or basing your weight loss on workout. The food is going to be giving you that 80, you know, the 80-20 rule, right?
Yeah.
That 80% comes from what you eat and 20% comes from what you do. So Natural Lean helps you to get that full 80% of weight loss from foods.
And Carla, you use your own story as the testimonial.
Yes, that's right.
Just changing the way you ate. How much weight were you able to lose, and over what span of time?
Okay. My goal was to lose 30 pounds before the age of 30. And I was able to lose the 30 pounds before I turned 30.
Wow.
And then I said, I'm going to get more. And I got 10 more. And this was over a span of 6 months.
Wow. But
Yes.
what was the difference between what you were eating before versus what you started to eat?
That's a perfect question. It was basically everything that I was eating before. However, it was not in the same combinations as I used to eat it before, and portions too.
Okay,
Yep.
break that down for us. You're still eating the same food. I get the portions part. If we eat less, that's
Yes.
better. But you said
Uh-huh.
combinations matter.
Yes, Natural Lean is all up. Is a scientific. I tell people there's science in food because we have proteins, we have carbs, we have fats, and knowing how to combine these helps your body to simplify things. It just makes it so basic, so easy for your body to burn and to do what it needs to do, because our bodies were built to do all these things naturally.
Yeah.
So by doing this through the food is helping you. It's gentle on you. The combinations are perfect so that you could eat it, get the energy you need from it, but don't have to store it.
Wow.
So you
I
know,
mean, some of these photos, they're
They're
pretty
amazing,
amazing.
yeah.
And I'm so glad
These are
that
my Natural Leans.
And I'm so glad that you said that many of the clients, they do couple it with increasing activity. But
Yes.
it's the proportions, which you mean the amount of food,
The amount,
but
yes,
the
the amount.
food groups that's critical. And I'm just watching this food. If this is a sample, I could do that.
I could do that
Yeah,
too.
I'm
Anybody
good
can
with
do
that.
it. Anybody can do it. And the thing is, I ask each person on a one-on-one basis. I send them a list of questions that they answer for me, and I use their answers to create their program. So it
Okay.
is fully personalized. What John likes would not be exactly the same as Marlene and the
Yeah.
rest of Belize. So
Yeah.
I personalize it.
But, you know, I've seen meal plans that include, you know, you eat a boiled egg for breakfast, and I don't know. Some people, that might be enough for them. That wouldn't work for me.
It wouldn't work for me
It would
either.
not work for me either.
Yeah.
It would not work for me. It would work for some people. I mean, some people tell me I love boiled eggs, so you could give me boiled eggs for breakfast, and I do. But if the person says I can't take boiled egg, Miss Carla, I don't want to see one next boiled egg in my life, then I don't put boiled eggs in there. That would be Marlene's one, right? I don't want to see boiled egg in the rest of my life.
We can have it chopped in my salad, but not much,
Yeah.
or potato salad.
Exactly.
You can
Yes,
still have
exactly.
potato salad with your meal program.
That would be what we call a crossover. It would have too much fats for the carbs that are in the food. So
Oh.
I would not be able to do that one. But
Well-
you have treat day, Marlene. You have treat day.
Okay,
They got cheat
good.
days. Cool. But
Treat, not cheat.
treat
Treat.
days?
Treat.
Yeah.
It's a treat because we do good for 6 days and we get a whole day to ourselves.
Because you see, John, we don't encourage cheating in general.
Yeah,
right?
we do it. We do it.
But we do encourage treats.
So Carla, you're saying that, okay, so you prepare the meal and send it around, or how is that done?
Okay, that's a good question because a lot of people think that I send food, but no, it's just me running this entire program. So what I do is I create a self-care program that I send to you. It's like a menu with the food, the amounts, and everything that you need to eat. Columns, breakfast, lunches, dinners, and you prepare it at home. But believe me, I make it as easy as you need it to be if you're a busy person, or if you like fancy food, I make it fancy for you. It's all up to you.
How do you condiment your foods? Is it just salt and black pepper, or No salt, none at all. Talk to us about
Anything
that
you
side.
want.
Really?
Anything you want, John. Ricardo, you could use Himalayan
Pepper.
salt because it's the healthiest, right? The pink salt. And of course, I'm not going to tell you put a pound of it in your food either. Moderation is key.
Yeah.
But you could season however you want. Unless you are hypertensive, then of course I would have to tell you hold on the sodium, hold on this and that and the other, because I do give advice for lifestyle changes that you would have to make according to your situation or your health, where you are diabetic, hypertensive, you have lupus, you have anything like that. I do give advice on that as well.
Now, Carla, your meal plans can also be more specific. They can be for other goals other than weight loss. Tell us about
That's
some
right.
of the other plans that you create other than helping people lose weight.
Okay, sure. So my specialty is weight loss, but I can also help people to gain weight with the same foods in different combinations.
Cool.
So I can also help. Yes, exactly.
Those people with that lucky problem, huh?
Those people who can eat whatever they want. Oh, I have fun with those. And I combine them in different ways and create so that they can build muscle, so that they can get lean, they can get cut, they can go to the gym, work out, tone, do whatever they want to do with the goals that they have for themselves.
Okay.
So also I help with persons who just need more energy. They just need to eat clean. They need to feel alive. They need to feel young. Maybe their skin needs to clear up a bit. They feel like, they're losing their fire for life and they want to just feel that life again come back into their bones, right? So I help with all types of situations, and I've also done for cancer fighting. I've done for lupus. I've done for fertility as well, because it does improve your hormones. It helps to balance your hormones. And as you lose weight, you improve so many other things in your life. It's not just about weight loss. You gain so many other things when you begin to take care of yourself.
Wow.
So, I was looking through your Facebook page and I saw that you are using chia as well. And so I
Yes.
wanted to talk about some of these superfoods and integrating them into the Belizean diet. There are some of us, I use chia, it's nothing to add it to my food or whatever I'm having. But not everyone is as open-minded when you're trying to integrate new items that have an added health benefit.
Yes.
How do you balance that?
Well, at the end of the day, I will create a program for the person. I will send it to them. And also the program comes attached to me. So the person can WhatsApp me. The person can contact me if they have any problems. Some of them might say, Miss Carla, this particular part of the program, I can't do it. I can't stomach it. It just doesn't go down. And I as a holistic coach, because I'm a holistic coach, I consider their emotions, I consider their mental health, I consider their physical health. So as a coach, I will say, all right, let's focus on the rest. Let's do this as much as you can, do the best you can with that. And as you grow your strength, your discipline, your courage in doing something new, usually they end up opening up down the line to maybe the chia, to something else. The holistic coach make it that their emotions are also a priority. I will not force them to do anything that they don't want to do, but I will encourage them along the way with my own experience, with my own stories and all the other natural leaders, so that they can build that boosting to say, you know what, let's do this. I can drink chia, I can eat chia, I can do all these other things. Although I focus mostly on the basic Belizean foods, I do have a few little other elements in there.
I am glad you said that. So let me ask, because one of the things that we find very often with fad diets that have been proven to be very unhealthy for people is when you eliminate entire food groups. Like, I am no longer having any carbs for the rest of my life. The body needs carbs. I'm no longer having any fat. Yeah, your body needs healthy fat. So let's talk about whether or not you are cutting food groups. What's the secret here?
The secret is so complicated. Let me tell you what happened to me. Let me tell you what happened to me in the beginning. Before Naturalina existed, it was just Carla losing weight, and everybody wanted to know her secret.
Yeah.
So I began to try to explain to people what I was doing, and all I got were some blank faces, some blank stares, and like, huh?
What?
So then I was like, this is not going to work. And so I said, I have to develop a program that puts 7 of the world's best secrets for weight loss and health in one easy to follow Belizean program. And that's it, because if I try to explain, they will not understand all the 7 secrets that are within the one Belizean program.
But you're not cutting food groups out.
I am not cutting no carbs, no fats, no proteins. You get all of them except in different combinations. And also I must let you know from now, I choose the best versions of the carbs, the healthiest versions of fats, the healthiest versions of proteins, but we use them all.
And sugar?
Sugar is one of the treat day stuff that you can have.
I've not been able to find one nutritionist who will approve my sugar intake.
Continue to sugar, no problem,
That is worldwide, Marlene. That is worldwide. Sugar is the enemy, not only for your waistline, but for your health in general. Yeah, but I do give you a very good replacement, which it varies by person because not every person has the same needs. But I do give you a very safe and good replacement that you can use, and your life doesn't have to be simple and tasteless. It's going to be sweet.
It's going to be sweet. Now, Carla, let's talk about the major factor here, and that's the cost. Is it expensive to eat natural lean?
No, it's not. The investment will be in the beginning when you are getting your food plan, you're getting your foods organized for you for your lifestyle plan, and the beginning, the booster kit with the drinks that I'm going to send for you to help you do that beginning phase of fat melting. Other than that, I'm going to ask you, what do you normally keep at home? Corn tortillas, beans, eggs, chicken, fish, basic veggies. I can't afford the expensive ones because I live in San Pedro, I live in Kikaker. So I will come and take all these things that you or the person tells me, and I will create an affordable program that they can use sustainably for the rest of their life. And the weight loss is also sustainable. I have been maintaining my weight loss for 5 years now.
Wow.
Good for you.
We see a lot of pictures of folks on screen, and those are proven testimonials that Natural Lean Belize actually works. Now, let's talk about the duration for a person. If I start today and I'd like to shed that 10, 20, 30 pounds with Natural Lean, what is my duration?
Okay, so our average from when I began to now, the average is 10 pounds a month. Now, you can choose if you want to go strict or if you want to go moderate. And what that means is that with the strict, you will only have certain types of carbs, but with the moderate, you can have other types of carbs. But still, even with the moderate, you can still lose the 10 pounds for the month. So that means that the stricts can lose maybe 12 or more for the month.
Wow.
So what if I don't know how to cook? Or what if I don't know how to cook healthy?
Okay, well, that's what the whole food plan is for. Because I will ask the person, do you know how to cook, or are you the one who does the cooking? They might say, no, Miss Carla, I have to buy a lot, or I have to do this and that and the other. So I will make it as easy as possible for that person to follow the plan using what they can make and what they have available. Because some of the items can be bought at restaurants, vendors. You just have to customize it a little bit. Tell them, hold this, put more of this, do this for me. And people are usually happy to help. As long as you're buying from them, they're willing to work with you as well.
Yeah, I like that. So what I hear from you is that it's a lot of consultation. You are finding out what you normally eat, how you normally eat, and making the plan based on that so that it's more palatable. Because if you put me on a string beans and beet diet tomorrow, we're not going to get further than a day.
You're going to turn pink.
Oh my goodness.
No, it's definitely palatable, and I dare to say it is delicious. Because if you look at the pictures, the combinations, I try to do the best with all my food and nutrition skills, with all my food lover skills, with everything in me. I try to make it colorful. I try to consider the flavors that I'm combining. Even though it's what you like, I won't just throw it on a plate for you and say, I will try to make it as palatable as I can for you, each individual person.
Carla, when I asked you about the condiments, you said you could use whatever condiment you like. Now, with respect to oils, and I might be dipping into business here, but with respect to oil, like, people cook with, especially, in the rural area, the coconut oil.
Yes.
So what would be some of the best oils to cook with so you could manage your weight?
Well, if you are following a Natural Lean food plan, then the coconut oil would work. Also, olive oil would work. Some people like to use fancier oils, but I won't even mention those because I don't want people to think I have to go use that expensive oil. So me, no, I'll do it. You can use your basic coconut oil. You can use olive oil. In some combinations, you can even use butter. So yeah, it is. I mean, I tell you, it's so customized and so personalized that I can really try my best to cater to your taste buds, and everybody's taste buds are different.
Yeah.
But so far, everybody, when they see their food plan, they're like, Miss Carla, I love, love, love this food plan. I see everything I told you is staring right there in my face, and I'm excited to do this for the first time in my life.
Beautiful.
And so the cost is the consultation and the preparation of the meal plan. How long is the meal plan for?
The meal plan, I call it a master guide. So therefore, it will take you through your weight loss. It's not by Monday, Tuesday, or by week. It's just a master guide that you mix and match according to what you're craving that day. So if I wake up craving, let's say, eggs, I pick something with eggs. If I wake up craving corn tortilla or beans, I pick something that has that. So it all works with you, with your body, with your cravings, and also same thing for lunch and dinner as well. So with all the mix and match combinations that you could possibly create from your master plan, you could probably adopt a new lifestyle with this program.
Somebody right now is saying, all right, Carla, sold, but how can I get connected to Natural Lean?
Well, I have as Marlene mentioned, I have my Facebook page. I have the business page, which is Natural Lean Belize. And I also have my personal page where I also do a lot of encouragement. I have a lot of positive things that I share when it comes to health. And that is Natural Lean Belize, Carla Mendoza.
Okay.
All right.
And Carla, just tell me, what is the typical reaction from your clients after they start the program?
Shock.
Yeah.
Shock is the typical reaction, followed by excitement, followed by, I can't believe I am doing this. I've never been able to lose weight. And then most of them that really pull through, that have the determination and have that drive to pull through their goal, they stay there. They never go back.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, Carla, you know what? We're so glad that you joined us this morning to explain to us exactly how to be a part of Natural Lean and what Natural Lean does for you, and the fact that you actually lose 10 pounds a month. Now that's a lot, right?
Eating food.
Eating the food that you like. Man. Carla, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you too for having me.
All right.
It was a pleasure.
From beautiful...
And they can find me there. They have my information there anytime.
From beautiful Santa Elena, Cayo.
I noticed that the meal program also includes relleno. So you're true to your word when you said you keep the traditional and cultural foods we love. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Love it. Yeah.
Carla, thank you. Have a beautiful day. A Natural Lean day.
You as well.
Thank
you. Bye.
All right, so we're about to take a break. When we come back, it's going to be all about Ahmadiyya Belize, as they'll be discussing their inauguration of their new mosque, of course, their annual convention coming up, and they'll be sharing about the country's biggest ongoing basketball tournament. Stay with us. We've got much more right here on Open Your Eyes, live on 5. We'll be back.
Hello, friends. This is Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word.
The Bible says, "But you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people belonging to God, that you may declare the praises of Him who called you out of darkness into His wonderful light. Once you were not a people, but now you are the people of God. Once you had not received mercy, but now you have received mercy." Several years ago, in the days of slave trading and the slave market, men gathered from all over the world in New Orleans, Louisiana, where hundreds of slaves were to be auctioned off. They gathered in their frock-tail coats for the gala occasion. There was in their midst one man who, with his royal airs, appeared to be high and mighty. Finally, someone asked the question, "Who is he?" The answer came, "Oh, you don't know? He's the king's son, and can't forget it." The Bible declares that before we came to know Jesus Christ as our Lord and Savior, that we were walking in darkness, knowing nothing of the mercy and kindness of God, and totally unknown. Then Christ came, and through his mercy called us into his wonderful light and made us a member of his royal family and a holy nation. Now, as a people of royalty belonging to God, we must live in such a way that our lives praise God by reflecting that same mercy and kindness. So as we await Christ's glorious coming and kingdom, don't forget who you are. You are a son of the King. So live like it.
Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
Bundle the fastest, most reliable, unlimited broadband in Belize with your prepaid or postpaid mobile plan or Netflix. You can bundle your broadband with your prepaid and enjoy 50% off all national calls, plus get SMS and data. Paid plans? Then bundle with any speed and pay only $25 extra monthly to enjoy unlimited smart-to-smart calls, plus 500 minutes, plus 6,300 megabytes of data. Stream unlimited HD movies and TV shows with our broadband, plus the Netflix add-on for only $30 monthly, and enjoy streaming on your laptop, TV, phone, or tablet. Visit a smart showroom near you to sign up or upgrade to the bundle that's right for you. Smart, bringing people together.
Imagine going through your entire day without the burden and risk of carrying cash on you. Belize's shift to digital wallets has begun with eCash. We can now skip the cash when collecting money or paying for our essentials, all while using a fast, easy, and secure platform.
Simply add funds to your wallet via bank transfer or at an agent, and you're good to go.
You will be able to make quick, easy payments simply by scanning QR codes. And best of all, it all happens just like that. Payments are as easy as clicking a link online or scanning a QR code.
Download the eCash app from the Google Play and Apple App Store today and take your first step into a cashless lifestyle.
The future is here with eCash.
For more information, visit www.e-cash.com or contact us via WhatsApp at 613-0257 to find out more.
If you're looking for low-cost television advertising, have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you save valuable time and money. Call us today at 223-0146 or visit us at our offices on Pony Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
Welcome back to Open Your Eyes, and we're moving now into our third and final segment for the morning. This one is all about Ahmadiyya Belize. Now, we know that they've got big things as per usual, but this one is to discuss the inauguration of their new mosque, of course, and of course, the annual convention and share about the country's biggest basketball league. We love that. That much I could tell you. In to talk to us about it, we've got Naveed Mangla. He's the president of Ahmadiyya Muslim Jama'at, I hope I got it correctly, and my brother Jamel Wagner, assistant commissioner. Guys, good morning and welcome.
Morning. Thanks for having us.
It's always nice to have you guys. Whenever you're here, it's always about something that that is prosperous. Let's talk about Ahmadiyya and what you guys are doing here. The inauguration is coming up of the new mosque. You are here to tell us that it was building. Where are we at this point?
So we've been here for 7-8 years now. When I moved here, it was a 1-bedroom apartment. My family wasn't even with me; they were in Canada. So we used to pray in our living room. That's where the gatherings were happening. When our community got bigger, we shifted to a bigger apartment, and then the mosque became separate and the apartment was separate. Then we got bigger, and then a little bit more, but we still didn't have our permanent home. Till now, by the grace of God, 7-8 years into it, this is the first mosque of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat in Belize.
Wow.
I'm not sure if you know this, that whenever Muslims build houses, the Prophet has said that if you build a house on earth, God will build you a house in paradise. So we vie against each other, we compete against each other to pay or do something for the mosque, so that God will be pleased with us. So the property that we purchased is a 2 acres land on Western Highway. It's only 1/3 of it is being utilized for this building. Mm-hmm. We're hoping that in the future we're able to build a hospital or a school right behind it. It was purchased by one person who donated to the community. The building of it, the construction also came from one person. And then the people that built it, they built a similar mosque in Canada, and they're the one that came and voluntarily built the whole thing for a year and a half and stayed here during COVID, during the whole construction of it. Wow. So it's very dear to us because all this historical background to it. And the inauguration will be held this Friday, and then our annual convention will be on Saturday. So anybody who's listening to us and wants to learn more about it, and now you know where we are on Western Highway, you can always come, regardless of whatever your beliefs are. I think I've mentioned this enough times here and at other stations, that Islam is a unique religion because it believes in all of the other religions before it. Other people, as Christians or other faiths, can say that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, the person who's the founder of Islam, is somebody that they do not believe in. But we as Muslims we cannot say that about Jesus, Moses, and all the other prophets, because we believe in all the teachings that they have brought. Mm-hmm. So that's why therefore we would like to welcome any Belizeans who want to come and pray with us or learn more about our faith. They're most welcome to join us.
How many people can it accommodate?
200 people.
200 people.
Yeah, and then also has
in non-COVID times, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's answer one of the questions that I'm sure you get asked quite a lot. Why is it situated that way on the property?
Yeah. Okay. So
because people don't know.
Right. Yeah. So Islam is a religion that believes in unity, right? And although you can worship at home too, so why come to the mosque? The reason is because it believes that we should do things together, and whenever we do so, it brings out the best in us, right? So we are to whenever we pray, regardless of where we are situated in the world, we are to face towards Qibla, which is the Kaaba in Saudi Arabia, which we believe was the first house of God built by Prophet Adam. And then renovated by Prophet Abraham, and then further renovated by Prophet Muhammad, who also came during that in that place. So that's why we gather there 5 times a day, and Prophet have said that you get 25 times more reward for praying at the mosque than praying at home. So whenever you leave your house and you meet your fellow brothers and sisters, you discuss good things, and that improves your spirituality and brings out the best in you.
Wow.
And so the building is situated to be able to face the east.
Yes.
And that's because that's the way you would face to pray as well.
Wherever you are. Yes.
Yeah, wherever
we have
you are.
We have a compass that we follow. So even when we say that we need to remember God all the time, right? So wherever you are, when it's prayer time, even when I'm driving, sometimes we will park on the side and pray, because you need to remember God all the time. So I think that's what makes Islam a unique religion, that we don't say that it's only once a week or twice a week, or you have to go to a particular building to pray, right? Your faith is something that's in you, and whenever it's time to remember God, you should do so regardless of where you are.
Wow.
Let's, one of the things since the Ahmadiyya Jamaat was established in Belize, you said almost 8 years ago,
7-8
right?
years, yeah.
Is that you have seen a growing interest in the community, and you also have had Belizeans that have traveled to be trained to learn the teachings as well.
Yes,
Let's talk about the expansion over the past 7 years.
Yes, by the grace of God, like I said, in a small living room to our own place.
Yeah.
First of all, it would not have been possible by Belizeans, the people here. You guys have welcomed us with open arms, right? Whether it's the government or the general public. So thank you so much. We are people that at times we're not even welcome in our own home country. We're from Pakistan, where our community is continuously being persecuted.
Yeah.
So we are very much appreciative that a government or a country that's mostly Christian based is welcoming a Muslim faith group, right? So that speaks volume about the Belizean people and the government here.
Yeah.
And then secondly, it's mainly because we believe in open door policy, right? We have nothing to hide. We continue to welcome the media, come to our house anytime, and we believe that. And secondly is because we believe that Islam or the religion is not just your own commitment to God Almighty. It's mainly because what can you do for people? If you're a faithful person, what is the benefit of your faith if you're just going to sit in your room and pray and you got nothing to do for the benefit of people?
Yeah.
Right? So you have to do. I mean, your faith should show that if you really love God Almighty, right? That should show that you love His creatures also, and for that you need to do something for them.
Yeah.
Right? And therefore, that's why we get into the basketball league and all the other humanitarian services, because we don't do it to please people or whatever, because if it was for the people, whatever, we would have stopped long time ago, because it's not easy what we're doing.
Yeah,
especially with the basketball league, it's too much, right? 49 teams now. Right? And it takes away a lot of our time. But we do it because it's a form of a worship for us, because at the end of the day, with the smile that brings on the faces of these kids, you have no idea how rewarding it is.
It has been the most visible outreach that you have done, sustaining it especially over the past few years. And we've seen quite a few stars rise up through the league as well. Let's discuss now the Ahmadiyya basketball program and how you got roped in.
All right, so the Ahmadiyya Basketball League, I guess started 7 years ago. I came on board 2 years after it started as a coach, and managed my way. With my team, we ended up winning a championship, and then Brother Nav and the commissioner wrote me into the management side. But now we moved from 8 teams from the first year now to we're at 49 teams this year. We had a rush with the COVID. Everybody's just excited to get the ball bouncing again. The players are extremely excited. The level that we're at now, we're extremely proud of, because right now we have youths involved at every level. We have youths behind the desk. We have a 16-year-old girl behind the desk. We have a official or a couple of officials or referees that came up during the league that are now officiating the games. We have commentators on our live Facebook page. We have the games live. We have Maddox Yushna and Jared Braden who does commentating for the games this year. So it's really exciting to have it.
What do you think is the secret to the success of this league?
I think it's the passion behind the game. There's a lot of people in Belize that actually loves basketball. We really love that game, and we would do it basically for free. We just want to participate. As long as it's structured and we're doing it right, people want to be involved and they want to be there.
But it's also the caliber of players as well. I mean, we're not even seeing this level of engagement with our primary and high school tournaments. Maybe high school gets a good energy, but primary school, and you have primary school age kids.
Well, the thing is, the talent has been here for a while. I just believe that we've been lacking as a community to showcase that talent. We step back and we sit back and we kind of bicker a bit. As Belizeans, and we don't focus on just showcasing the kids and giving them the opportunity to shine.
do you have to be, I wanted to ask, the first question, why basketball? The world most popular sport is football, and we know that a lot of people actually love that sport as well, which you might have garnered even more people via football. So why basketball?
Because I grew up in Canada and I used to play basketball.
Oh.
So when I came here, I used to ride on my bike and would find different courts, and I just would start balling with the youth there. And one thing that I noticed right away was that it's not you have a lot of talent, as Mr. Wagner mentioned, but it's not organized talent. So we went to the mayor of the city and we said, we're at your disposal, tell us how we can work together. And Mr. Bradley and the community, we got together, and the inception of Ahmadiyya Basketball League began. But to answer your question of what's the recipe behind, I think number one is the core of the group of the people that we're working with, Mr. Lino, the commissioner, Mr. Wagner, and again, regardless of our faith differences, Mr. Lino is a Rastafarian, Christian, Muslims, the passion is there, right?
It's a love of basketball.
It's a love of basketball.
Yeah.
Number two is a consistency, right?
Yeah.
Consistency. We never gave up. We could have given up the first year when we signed out 12 teams and only 7 or 8 showed up, or they continued on till the end of the season. But we thought that if we just hang in there, good things will happen, right? And number three, we don't compromise or jeopardize the quality of the tournament, right? Now we're at a stage where before we would beg teams to please come, but now we're at a stage that we believe that if we just hold on to the quality, it will grow and has grown on its own. So we take pride in saying that by the grace of God, it's probably one of the most organized league in the country has ever seen.
Yeah.
And spanning different age groups as well.
Yeah. What are the age groups? Yeah, indeed.
So we have U15, U18, U22, and now we have open. We started off U17 in the first year, and now our youths have become men. So
and they still want to keep playing.
Exactly. So we're trying to accommodate them and keep them in the game for as long as possible.
So if these young
How
men
do
want
you
to
fund
join,
it, though?
So the funding.
Yeah.
I've talked to me now.
So yes, we would like to appreciate the sponsors. Mainly is the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat itself. Sometimes people say that why do we charge the teams? And then we ask the teams to pay something towards it. And it's mainly because we have tried in the first couple of years, when you don't take any money from the kids, they're not committed enough. So if they just put something towards it, more commitment shows, right? So this was the reason. Even though some coaches fight with us, it's too much money, I say yes, it's too much money. But if I give it to you for free, I know for sure your team will not show up.
Yeah.
And that has happened to us, right? So it has happened to
this
us
year.
in the first this year.
But we give teams opportunity to come. We try to work with teams. So we tell them
we know that
bring 2 teams for free.
Okay.
So we have some local sponsors. Boina has been helping us. Smart, BTB. These people are there that consistently has helped us. But mainly it's our community. I remember our spiritual head of the community, when I wrote to him originally, when we were starting, that the budget is 5,000 and the city council is saying that they'll do 50 and our community should do 50. He said, go ahead and get started. If the government helps, fine. Otherwise, Jamaat will help all. It's a good initiative. Get it done.
Yeah.
So ever since, he's the person that's been pushing us to keep on doing this, and you have to come and check it out. The smile and the happiness that you see on the faces of these kids is just amazing.
You've also included girls in the competition as well.
Yeah. So last year we had exhibition girls game. The problem is that the girls they're spread out in terms of talent. There's a few of them and they're spread out, so we can't specifically keep an age group. We need to develop the coaches to start to working with the girls, and so that we could develop an age category for them.
But it isn't. I mean, I think you had a mixed team once with a girl on the team.
Yes, for the Belize Cup we had a girls competition.
Yeah.
We had mix, and we had just a specific girls competition with teams coming from Mexico, and we had a few teams from Belize.
All right. So how are things going with the season?
The season we're in the third. Well, this week will be the third week. This Sunday, we've transitioned from SJC over to the Mexico Sporting Complex, where we play 16 games, starting from 9 until 4. The season, the energy and everything is there. I think the youths are just really happy to have the ball bouncing again.
Yeah.
It's just that we are giving youths opportunity that are actually missing out. So in high school and primary school, because there's no tournament, they would have some that's graduating this year would have not been able to play basketball any at all.
Yeah.
So they're getting that opportunity, and you could see it in their eyes. You could feel it in the gym.
Yeah.
So
games are every
people
Sunday?
can go for free to watch?
Every Sunday, we don't allow any fans. The government has said 50% capacity, but we're not allowing any fans. It's easier for us to control.
Because you don't want to have to turn people away.
Exactly. But we've basically put in a rule where we allow 20 persons per team.
Okay.
To come into the gym. So we've been allowing that, and we still have a little problems with the youths. They don't really want to leave because they're supposed to come in, watch that game, and then
they leave
and exit when their team is finished and so forth. But we're working on it. We're trying to keep it safe because we want kids and their family members to know that they're safe we're still in the COVID period. So we want to keep it that way.
So and the official opening of the mosque is on Friday, the 18th.
And then we have the convention on Saturday.
Okay.
So we're right here. If there's any way that we can help you spiritually, any way we can help your youth, your kids, we're here at your disposal. Please come and visit us.
Wow. Naveed, I'll tell you what, this is welcoming news, knowing that youths are actually starting to play basketball. And finally, before you go, we know that you've had many a success story with respect to guys coming out of your league and going to somewhere bigger. Have we seen any of this of recent?
So the last one we had was I think we had Matt going to
Mexico.
Over there, still working. Got a scholarship and so forth. So that was the last one. There's a few more that happened before. So, but every time we take a team to Mexico, we always get coaches and so reaching back out to us saying we need that.
These guys are good.
Yeah.
We want to check them out.
But we don't take the credit alone, though. You got to understand that there's so many other teams or organizations and coaches that are doing the same thing, and they're the actual ones that make our league look good too. So you have, people like Puppy Leslie and Mr. Roscoe and these people that have been running Bulldogs for a long time, and then you have Mr. Moody that's trying to do his thing, Mr. Pulo, Future Shock, so Mr. Emilio Young who runs the Gators, right? So when we all get together and unite under one umbrella, it brings out the best in us.
Lovely. All right. Jamal, Naveed, we want to thank you guys for joining us this morning. This is actually welcoming news. It is welcoming news, and we want to say congratulations to both of you for a job well done, and wishing you guys all the very best.
Thank you for having us.
All right, we're going to take our final break of the morning, and when we come back, we'll be wrapping things up. You want to stay with us? We'll be right back.
This Valentine's Day, ditch the roses, skip the romantic dinner, and simply say, I love you with a Samsung. Treat that special someone to a Samsung A-series device. The awesome and affordable lineup includes the Galaxy A02, A03 Core, A03s, A12, A22, A32, S20 FE, and even the Tab A7 Lite and Tab A7 LTE. Plus, there's no tough love with Samsung. Every Galaxy purchase from an authorized reseller comes with a 1-year local warranty that will make you love that Galaxy even longer. So head over to any of Samsung's official partners this Valentine's and make it special.
It's almost lunchtime and Alice is getting hungry and forgot to bring cash. She remembers that eCash now has a geolocation feature in which she can easily view the eCash merchants near her, especially restaurants. Her co-workers also ask her to order food for them.
Chicken chow mein, please, and a Coke.
The merchant sends her the payment link. She taps confirm, and within a few minutes, her food is delivered. Alice then views her transaction history and taps on the transaction recently made. Then taps the split the bill button, where she selects the unevenly option and moves the bar to the desired amount per person. The request is then sent to her friends. Her colleagues accept the request and are ready to enjoy their meals. Geolocation and splitting the bill via eCash make Alice's life a whole lot easier.
When something is good and you can save, that makes it even better. Like this guy, he buys Flex bundles using his promo credit. No worries when his primary credit is finished. He gets talk, text, and data for free. Or her, she calls her family internationally with her promo credit. And with data packages so affordable, she even does video calls. Smart continues to offer great deals and affordable promotions. As a small business owner, she saves when she uses her promo credit to call the other guys. All Smart customers enjoy more triple days and knowing they can use their promo credit, which just lasts longer. Smart, bringing people together.
If you're looking for low-cost television advertising, have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you save valuable time and money. Call us today at 223-0146 or visit us at our offices on Pony Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
All right, we're back. Just like that, we're back. And just like that, we've come to the end of our show for today. Very, very interesting information coming out, especially from the Ministry of Health and Wellness, as we had a conversation with Dr. Emily Zielinski Gutierrez, who's the Director of Central America Region Office for the Center for Disease Control. Very interesting information coming out of that, Mark.
Yeah, still 100,000 doses of Pfizer in the country that you can still access. And this morning's conversation, I think, is to be able to explain why the date of the expiration has been pushed back. It was authorized for emergency use, and therefore there was a shorter shelf life put on it, but it doesn't mean that it affects the effectiveness of the vaccine at all. I do hope that we still have people going out to get vaccinated. Children over 12 can get the Pfizer, and of course adults can get it as well as a booster if they haven't been vaccinated, as their main vaccine as well.
Indeed. So I also want to thank Dr. Natalia Larga-Espada-Bear for joining us with that conversation. And Carla Mendoza Landero, owner of Natural Lean Belize. She, of course, we ran some pictures proving that Natural Lean Belize does work. You want to check her out on her social media pages, Natural Lean Belize, and see what she can be, what she can do for you with respect to weight loss. Thank you. And Ahmadiyya, these guys, you know, the story from 7 or 8 years ago to now actually having a mosque, and then the inauguration for that coming up this weekend as well. That is a big success for them.
Yeah, no, I think the growth of the Ahmadiyya Jamaat is one that has been very visible to many people, and the work that they do with the communities in building and maintaining the league is one that many have appreciated. And what we can clearly see is that it is an activity that has no divisions based on religious faiths.
Yeah.
You know, you're talking about basketball groups from across the country coming together to play in this league, and it has really grown.
From 11, what?
From
12
eight,
teams,
they said, yeah.
From 8 teams to now 49 teams, just some 7 years, 8 years. That's a significant growth there. But it simply says that our people, our youth, actually, they love sports, and this is definitely a great way to channel the best out of them. So we want to thank the guys as well for coming in this morning, and also we want to thank you. You opened your eyes and you started your morning right with us. We want to say thank you so very much. And if you've got any questions, any concerns at all, we want for you to join us or send us your concern or your questions at oye@channel5belize.com. I do believe we do have some for a little later on this afternoon.
Yes, of course. The state funeral for the late former Prime Minister, Right Honorable Manuel Esquivel, it starts at 2.
Okay.
You're going to hear the bells toll at 2:10, and the cortege will begin moving through the streets to the House of Culture, where the funeral service will take place. It closes off, there's a lot of ceremony involved. It closes off with the 21-gun salute, with the firing from the cannon squad, and so you can catch all of that live and be a part of his official send-off this afternoon, live on Channel 5 and streaming on Facebook.
Definitely. So again, check us out on our social media pages. We've got Facebook at Open Your Eyes BZ, and of course on Instagram at OYE Belize. You can join us again tomorrow morning when you open your eyes.
Start your morning right.
And as per usual, keep your eyes, your minds,
and your hearts open. We'll see you soon. Enjoy your day, please.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.